People are going The Shining on these kids. There are children. Hi, welcome to another reading vlog that I don't know if it will see the light of day because I'm still learning how to talk to a camera without sounding so stiff. I'm trying to edit one of the videos that I'm like, hopefully will go up. It's right now, it's not looking all that great, but I'm trying to edit the bookshelf tour video that I filmed. And not only did I have so many technical difficulties, I was also just getting incredibly discouraged by how I felt in front of the camera. It's okay, we worked through it. But I was just looking at my intro and I'm like, wow, I am so stiff. Why am I so stiff? I'm sitting there going, hi everybody, welcome back to another channel. Like, another channel, this is the same channel. There's only one channel. I'm not doing another one. So hopefully I'm gonna try and film my weekend. This is a weekend reading vlog where I read and hopefully update you guys, and I'm gonna attempt to throw it together, and if it comes to be something, I'll publish it. If not, you're not seeing this right now. I am going to my mom's this weekend. I haven't seen her in a long time and I'm very excited, but also they have this really great porch. Their back deck is brand spanking new. It's super good. Just the perfect place to go outside and sit and read. So I'm bringing a few books with me. I'm gonna try and finish Fourth Wing this weekend. Still haven't finished it. It's August, what day is it? August 5th. It's August 5th, and I wanted to be done with Fourth Wing 5 days ago. I'm not done yet. Why? It hasn't hooked me. It's got me. I'm hooked. I wanna know how it ends, but I don't. I don't really wanna know. That is my bad. But the thing is that I really like the book. It's just, we'll save those thoughts for later. Anyway, so I'm going to be going to my mom's this weekend, and I'm going to be reading on their back porch and hopefully having a nice cool beverage of some kind, probably just water because it's hot, and just enjoying the sunshine. I work inside all the time, and I just like to be out in the sun as much as I can handle it. I'm too frail to be outside for too long, but I really do like the sun. I can feel it. I'm getting stiff again. I can feel it in my neck. But I thought I would choose this moment to update you guys on the books that I am reading, and I am looking for my phone, but I'm currently filming on it. I need more tea. That is still hot. Why do I do this to myself? Your girl is reading this book that is meant for YA. There is some stuff in here that I am like, this is meant for children? This is meant for children. Oh my gosh, where's my iPad? Oh, it's right here. Hi, okay, wow, I look like a mess, but this is editor Haley once again here to tell you that in my excitement for talking about this book, I didn't even tell you what the book was about. I was too busy getting very much distracted by this YA horror that I had never read before and failed to do the one thing that I was meant to do. Clown in a Cornfield is about this girl named Quinn Maybrook who moves to this new town called Kettle Springs with her father. She didn't really want to move, but after the death of her mother, they were wanting to restart. They're starting to notice that the kids are all weirdly focused on like social media and pranks and getting as many viewers and followers as they possibly can, and the adults in this town are not having it. Also in this town, there is this maple syrup factory that has shut down and has since like kind of put the town into ruin. So the town's got weird vibes and everything's kind of falling apart. They're trying to build tourism back up into the town, trying to boost revenue and boost tourism up in this town. The corn syrup's mascot, by the way, also is this clown named Friendo, and Friendo goes homicidal. And they are trying to figure out who he is and what he's doing and what his motivations are and why he's trying to go after and kill everybody in the town of Kettle Springs. So that is what this book is about. I never explained it. I'm sorry about that. I'll try and get better about this, but yes. I took some notes while I was reading because it is just insane. It is insane. And my first note is, why are these freaking high schoolers drinking so much? They are drinking so much and just casually have it all the time. And I don't understand where they get it. I get it's a small town and it's probably really easy to purchase, but it's not explained where they get it. It's just like, oh yeah, he's drunk off his ass. And I'm like, excuse me, you're like 14. You were 14. I didn't drink that much in high school. I get it. I was more scholarly focused. I was more of a student. I didn't party. I'm still not a partier. I don't like partying. I want to know how they're just so casually like building up an alcohol tolerance when they're like 14. These people are like freshmen, juniors. I honestly don't actually know what age range they are. It hasn't really been said, but it doesn't matter. I digress. The horror in this is meant for children because I am a 28-year-old adult and I'm getting freaked out by this clown. It's just wild because you had 2 chapters back to back where they are literally 2 murder scenes. Graphically murdered people. Graphically. Because that makes sense. These people have been murdered horribly. And you've got 1 chapter where this guy gets murdered with an ice pick. Won't tell you how, because I don't want to know how, and I read it. The second one is very Ghostface-esque. That scene made me think of Scream, which Scream is one of my favorite horror movies, so I appreciated that. It was a fun time. But the entire time I've been reading this, I've been trying to pinpoint what it's kind of based off of. In the beginning of this entire book, while it weirdly hooked me, it didn't also hook me. It hooked me enough for me to keep reading because I wanted to know what the horror elements were. I got there. It was very Stephen King It was the town that they are in, Kettle Springs, gives off very big dairy vibes. The adults are really weird. But the kids are also really weird because they're all focused on social media and going live and getting all these followers, which makes filming this a little weird, not gonna lie. The adults are just mean. They're hateful. And except for like a couple of them. I forgot where that train of thought was going. But I've been trying to figure out where the influences came from. And so for the longest time I was thinking it was Stephen King's It. And then it turned into kind of Michael Myers-y Halloween because of the way that Friendo just stands there and stares. It's kind of creepy. And then it turned into Scream with one of the murder scenes. And it stayed Scream for a long time. And then now it's like Children of the Corn. I don't know. I haven't, to be clear, haven't read that movie. Have not seen that movie. What I read last night, this freaking clown, who I picture as Pennywise, even though it's not Pennywise because he acts nothing like Pennywise. This freaking clown comes out of the cornfield with a freaking bow and arrow. And this teenage girl, won't say who, this teenage girl has an arrow in her back. And I'm sitting there going, okay, children are involved in this. You got one with an arrow in her back. You also had some people get their throats slits in an ice pick incident, and it's graphically descripted. Why? I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I am enjoying this book. But this book, I don't even know if I ever mentioned the name of this book. It's Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar. And oh my god, it is so good. But I'm also freaked out reading it because it is graphic. And the horror, not skimped on at all. You got this guy, I'm not going to mention who because I'm trying to keep the spoiler free, but you got this guy who gets knocked out and wakes up in a pit of rotting corn and dead bodies. Yeah. This is some House of a Thousand Corpses level of freak, because I can't even process, my brain can't even process all of the different genres of horror movies and horror books that I have read that this is all accumulating to. It is a good time. If you like to be scared by a YA novel, you should read it because it just does not hold back. And I thought it would because I'm used to reading YA thrillers. It's a lot more graphic than a YA thriller, and it goes for the horror aspect. It goes for horror. One of my notes says, what the hell is happening? There's a mass killer coming after teenagers with a freaking bow and arrow. This is not what I was expecting. I just have no thoughts. So reading this book and reading Fourth Wing at the same time, which I do enjoy Fourth Wing. I have talked about it before. I'm not going to harp on it again. The same issues that I had before are the same issues I still have now, but there are some things that I really like about it. And I don't have my book with me, so I can't just read you what I highlighted, but there have been several little things that have happened that I'm like, okay, I appreciate what this author is doing. I like Violet. Violet is a great main character. She has no qualms with figuring out who she is as agency, like what her agency is. She has no qualms figuring out who she is, what she does, what she wants. She'll let you know. She does not mince words. So I really appreciate that about Fourth Wing, is how blatantly honest she is. But I do just don't care for the flow as much. But it is not impacting horribly. It's just, the only thing it's impacting is me just being one step further into just being obsessed with this book. It's enough for me to not be obsessed, but it's enough for me to enjoy it though. And then I'm reading the character arc book, which is a slow time. It's a very slow time. I can only read like half a chapter at a time right now. So I'm pushing through. It's okay. It's fine. We're gonna figure this out. But yeah, so I'm gonna edit more of this bookshelf tour situation that was a chaotic time before I go to my mom's, and I will do some reading there, and then while I am there I will catch you guys up on what I've read and what's happening, especially with Clown in a Cornfield, because I'm invested in that one. We're gonna figure that one out. But my main goal this weekend is to finish Fourth Wing. I have to finish Fourth Wing. I have less than 100 pages left, and I know things are about to get really, really good. Am I ready? I don't know if I'm ready. I just want more dragons. I want more of the dragons, so maybe that's coming. I'm excited. We'll figure this out.
You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you're doing fine 'cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. 'Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears aren't proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right, don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light, you're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be. I see you hesitating while you're waiting, like somebody's gonna give it to you. You gotta chase it, gotta believe it. You gotta go whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Okay, so I just finished Fourth Wing. It's Monday, by the way. I didn't film yesterday because I didn't do a lot of reading. I had a hard time finishing this book because I didn't want it to end, and yet I also didn't want to read the end. Very conflicting feelings. But I ended up pushing through today. I finished it, and it did not disappoint. The ending was definitely worth it. And, you know, I maybe shouldn't rate books as soon as I finished them, but Fourth Wing, I think, is a good solid 4 stars because it truly lives up to the hype. It's just, I tend to have a lot of issues with the way the plot just kind of conveniently unfolded, but that's just me and maybe my preferences. I do really think that Violet is, as a main character, is a breath of fresh air. She definitely tells you the way things are and doesn't mince words, and I really appreciated that with her. And Xaden wasn't new for any of the book boyfriends. He did a lot of the same things. He made me think of Rhys, but I like Rhys better. I do like Xaden. Xaden's not a bad guy. I really do like him and Violet together, but he just didn't bring anything to the table that was different just because Violet was so different herself. So I really appreciated Violet and her stances on a lot of the things that he put her through and that they went through together, not just that he put her through, but things that they did together. So that was that. And overall, I think it's a really good book. I will have to read it again to see how I feel about it truly, but there are some things in here. There's one thing in here that happened that just got me. It got me so hard because I didn't want it to happen, but it did, and I was so sad, and it just really evoked a really strong feeling in me, which was something that I didn't know that I had for this book, which was nice. It had my I had my moments where I was giddy, but I didn't have my moments where I was like really fully attached to this book until that moment where I was like, oh, okay, well, that was sad. I hated that happened. 4 stars. Solid 4 stars. So glad I read it. We'll read it again in the future. I can't wait for the next book either. So we're gonna have to see what the next book happens because that ending was spoiled for me. I spoiled it for myself because I like to read the last page of a book. I know this, it's a toxic trait of mine. We're not going to address it much more than I already have. So I just think, I don't know, the next one's got a lot to live up to because this book was super hyped. And it's, while hard to live up to that hype, it did a good job. So I was impressed with it. So I'll give it 4 stars. So I think I read maybe a little bit yesterday. Not sure if I filmed any of that or anything. I don't think I did. And just went to bed. I read a lot of Clown in a Cornfield over the weekend and yesterday mainly, and this book, it says in the book the kids are not all right. They are not all right. Things are happening in this book that is just crazy, but I don't know. We'll just have to see because this book, I don't know if it should be meant for children, but it also, I can see how it is meant for children at the same time. So I don't know. The things that happen in here, are just graphic and just brutal. And maybe it's my unfamiliarity with horror, especially when it comes to YA horror. Not familiar with it, don't know how graphic it's supposed to be, but it seems a little heavy for someone who's in their teenage years to be reading. But, honestly, I probably would have devoured this. So, I don't know. I'm just surprised is all. I finished Fourth Wing. I'm going to put it back on its shelf where it belongs. And then I think I'm going to read more of Clown in a Cornfield and then possibly pick up a new book. So if I pick up a new book, I'll share that with you guys. I have those 4 books that are on my August TBR, one of which is saved for a special video coming up soon. That's this coming weekend, so I can't read that one. And that leaves 3 others that I can pick from. One of which is rather large, but we all know which one that is. If you watched my August TBR video, you know which one that is. I'm gonna pick up another book and go from there. Also, I want to show you guys this cool little bookmark thing that I'm using. It's a library borrower card from the 1930s that I found in a book from work. It's got the professor's names on it and the book and the author and everything, and it's got dates. The dates on there from November 16th, 1937 and October 6th, 1944. And I just think that's really cool because the color's really pretty and it's cool. It's a cool piece of history and I'm using it as a bookmark. So I thought I'd share that because I think that's cool. So. I don't even have my microphone plugged in. But do you mean to tell me what I think this book, Clown in a Cornfield, is telling me is actually happening? Words cannot describe the pure chaos and surprise I feel while reading this book. Because Clown in a Cornfield has some moments where I'm just like, we're going there? We're going there. Okay. Like, I can't even be bothered to get up and get my microphone right now. I'm so surprised. Like, wow. Just wow. This is not what I expected this to be. I am in complete shock. And I have no words. I thought this was going to be like a supernaturally type of friendo the clown is here to kill you kind of situation. I have never been more wrong. I'm kind of glad that I was, but I'm also kind of disappointed that I was. Because I wanted that kind of Michael Myers, I'm here to kill you without real motivation, why, supernatural being. That is not what this book is. That is not what this book is. This book is insane. This book is insane. That's all I've got. And I don't want to spoil anything, but someone just got decapitated by a chainsaw. Does that scream YA to me? To anybody? Does it scream YA? Because I didn't know it did. We're just gonna sit here and read this for a minute while I process everything that has happened. Meanwhile, Miss Ma'am is keeping me safe from the clowns. Okay, so I just finished Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar, and the ending, not what I pictured, not where I was going with it. I don't dislike it. It just felt like it wrapped up a little fast because it took forever to get to the moment. The moment happened, it took all night, and then it just wrapped up really quick. So what was originally a 5-star read turned slowly into a 4-star read, and I'm kind of sad. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely an interesting read. I highly recommend it. It threw me for a loop. I guess just because I wasn't expecting this level of anything when it came to like violence and gore and horror. I think it also just mainly because I got it into my head that that friendo was more of like a supernatural being. Very much not the case. And then earlier I was talking about how it seemed kind of like Scream, how it seemed kind of Halloween-like, how it seemed like it had House of a Thousand Corpses and Jigsaw and just all these different elements mixed in. It turned away from that pretty quickly, and then it just turned into mass chaos. And not necessarily in a good way, but not necessarily in a bad way either. Do you want to say hello? Oh. No. Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed the book. It was really good. I cranked out like most of it tonight, which was a little surprising. I'm trying to gather my thoughts and just see I literally just finished it, so I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I think about the book. It's just that it was really good other than just the quick wrap up at the end. So I don't know if I'm going to read the next book or not. We'll have to see if that appeals to me. I may wait a second because the ending seemed kind of cheap. Like the very end, like the epilogue. But it also didn't at the same time. I don't know. I should probably formulate my own thoughts before I come to you guys and mention it. But I think I'm gonna have to read the second one and see what happens. And I don't know if that's gonna be sooner or later. Depends on how it sits with me throughout the rest of the time. So anyway. So that means I finished 2 books this weekend, and I'm very proud of myself. I finished Fourth Wing, I finished Clown in a Cornfield. I need to finish that character arc book, and I'll be done, and I can start with new fresh books as August continues on. So I think I'm going to call it quits for this vlog. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Please let me know what you guys are currently reading in the comments below, and just kind of how you guys are doing and what you guys have been up to, and just let me know. So thank you guys so very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and all that other fun stuff that I don't know how to say at the end of a video. I think I need to sit here and just ponder about what all I've read tonight. I've read a lot of very interesting things tonight in 2 very different books, and I think my brain is fried. So I think I'm going to go, and hope you guys had a lovely, lovely weekend, and hope to see you guys very soon.